Johnson, and I teach special education inclusion and ESOL in a second grade classroom in Maryland. And today I'm super excited. It's the first day of school, but before I get my day started, I want to give you guys a tour around my classroom, so come along with me. Alright, so when you first walk into my room, I'm going to give you an overview first. Lots of bright. There are definitely areas that I'm missing, but it's okay because we'll go by piece by piece. Alright, so when my students first come in, they are to sign up for lunch, and so that's what this area is for. We have 3 different choices. We have blue, yellow, and pink, and then they each have a blue, yellow, and pink card with their ID number and all of that. So they're able to just put the corresponding color next to the choice that they want, and then I can check it off, put the cards into the little pouch that's right up there, and then lunch count is done. Super easy. Then I have my Where Are You board. I created the headers just in Microsoft Word, and then these guys came from Dollar Tree, and I just wrote their names on with Sharpie, and then I used Velcro dots that also came from Dollar Tree. I know it's kind of hard to see, it's white on white, so that they're able to just move their name to wherever they are in the school, or if they're absent, I can move their name there, so I'm not looking for a student when there's a million things going on in our day, and I don't remember. Going over to our next bulletin board, I have my class jobs. I have my class rules here. I did create both of these things. The class jobs I created in Microsoft PowerPoint, super easy using rectangles and then just fun fonts and clip art. And then the class rules I just used in Word using a fun font. Over here is my calendar area. I got my yesterday was, today is, tomorrow will be from Target. And then the calendar itself and all the numbers I got from a teacher supply store. It's not a chain one, so I can't necessarily give you the reference unless you live on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. So if you do, then you can look in Salisbury at the teacher supply store. But I know that's not very helpful for many other people. Over here I have my schedule. This did come from TPT, so I can link that below. And then all of my extra cards I just keep into the bin right here, so it's easy for me to be able to switch it out day to day, and then keep them nice and organized. Also over here I have my bathroom please board. My students have the opportunity to go to the restroom once in the morning, once in the afternoon. So when they go, they just put a check by their name, and then they know and I know that they've already gone. And they can either go before school starts, so that doesn't count towards AM. They can go during lunch and recess time, that doesn't count. Or they can go at the end of the day if they've already used their AM and PM time. And to go to the restroom, I use this little Beanie Baby here. The kids just come up, they shake it. Then no matter where I am in the room, I can hear the beads. I can look over, give them a nod without stopping what I'm doing, and then they can just check off their name, grab one of the passes that are over here, and head on out. So super easy way to eliminate the raising of hands and asking. That way I can keep teaching and they can quickly go ahead and take care of what they need to take care of. Alright, over here also I have all my students' book bins. I did get these from Target and Michael's depending on the color. And then I also have my sharp and dull pencils. The labels did come from TPT. I can link those below. And then I showed you the schedule cards, but I also have issue bin cards. So all of the little scrap papers that I used to cut things out this summer, I saved them and then cut them up so that I could use them for issue bin cards. And if you haven't heard about issue bins, basically my students are able to just write down any issues that they're having in the classroom to eliminate them coming up to me and tattling. Basically, we do talk about like what is important to write into the issue bin and what is something that they can kind of handle on their own, and we talk about strategies for them to be able to do that. And then they also know if it's ever anything that is a physical threat, I guess. If anyone's threatening them physically or if anyone hit them, that they don't write it in the issue bin, they just come directly to me. So we have that talk, but it's a nice way to kind of eliminate the, oh, he stole my pencil, he da-da-da-da. So, yeah. And then I also have a Toodles bin down here. Toodles is something that we do instead of tattling. So it's kind of like the opposite. It's kind of like the student shout-outs I know a lot of other people do. They're able to just write kind notes to each other, and then after they have written them, they put them in here. And then we have a Toodles board or a wall over here where we display a lot of the kind things that people say to build class community. Also over here I have my STEM bins. I decided to make a class set this year. I use them for early finishers, so if we're doing a whole group like activity and one group finishes first, or if they're doing it individually, then they are able to just come over, grab a stem bin. There's challenge cards inside, and that way they're still being productive and learning instead of just sitting and reading a book and writing, even though that's important as well. It's just a more fun and engaging way to keep them occupied until everyone else has finished. Alright, up above, I have my alphabet and my number line, and then I also have you are important, and then on this side, I have you are loved. On my Promethean board, I have reminders for the carpet, so giving me 5. Ears are listening, eyes are watching, legs are crossed, lips are zipped, and hands are still. So just reminders, visual reminders for my kiddos when we're on the carpet so that they know what the expectations are. On this board I have blue, orange, pink, and green. These are for table points. So I have my green table, my pink table, my orange table, and my blue table. And then anytime that my students are all on task from that table, or they all got the materials out or put them away, when I ask them, they're able to earn table points, and then we have a table of the week at the end of the week, and they get to go to the treasure box, and they get the VIP caddy with special fancy little markers and things like that, Mr. Sketch markers and twistable crayons and all that jazz. So they get really excited about that. I also have how many days we've been in school, so we keep track of that on this chart. And then I have a bouncy ball schedule. So I have 2 bouncy balls in my classroom, and then we just have a schedule so that kids aren't arguing about who's been on the ball the most or who hasn't had a chance and all that. Everyone has a specific day and time that they're able to, and they get to many times a week because I also do it during, they're able to use the balls during read a self, their time, and then extra time. So sometimes kids get them twice a day. So nice opportunity to make sure that we stay, well, not stay, but don't argue basically about who's getting to go on the ball. I also have my library schedule over here. Same thing, kind of just to eliminate the arguments about who gets to go and who hasn't had a chance to go. Everyone has a specific time and a day that they're able to go outside of the times when we go as a whole entire class. So nice way to eliminate the arguments. And similarly to my, that's probably pretty loud, sorry, but similarly to the bathroom, they have a little moose, and they just shake it when it's their day and time, and then I just give them a head nod, yes or no, if they're able to go, and they grab the hall pass, and then they're out the door with their books. This little hook here just has end of the day jar questions, and then morning greetings, and I think these are just like greetings that they can do, and then these are like games and activities. I got those from TPT as well. I can link those below too. Up here I just have note cards, erasers, and then markers go in here. I need to make the label for that still. Alrighty, over here is my desk area. I have these 2 rolling carts here. The one on the right side, this one I put technology in, so our tablets have microphones and a camera. So those go there. And then on the other side right now I just have file folder games and kind of like miscellaneous items in here that I didn't feel like dealing with. But I will find a way to productively use this other drawer. If you have any ideas, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. I also keep my inbox in here, and then anything that I need to pass out, so that it's right here and I don't forget because I have to walk past it. Alright, on my desk, typical teacher stuff. I don't think I'm going to go through all that. It's a little messy right now, but I'll clean it up before the kids get here, hopefully. Pens, markers. I will say that I keep all the pens and markers and things that I don't care if they accidentally go missing by accident, and then anything that like is important to me, like my good Sharpies and pens and pencils and like my chalk markers and all that great stuff I keep in here, and then like the super duper like great merchandise goes in here, like these pens, and I think I took my friction pens home, but I also keep those in here so that I make sure these don't go walking away with anybody, because they are 1, expensive, and 2, my favorite. So I keep them hidden away for my own use. I also have my teacher toolbox just like everybody else in the teacher IG, YouTube, Pinterest world. I keep my pencil sharpener over here. I don't let my students use it just because I don't want it to break. But I always keep lots of pencils, as you saw earlier, over in the sharpen bin. And then I sharpen them during their special time or at the end of the day, so they're always available. I do have 2 of these guys to help keep things organized. If you look up there, those are my first 2 classes, and then our school pic from last year, super duper cute. And then I made it last year for my kiddos. They're my first balloons. They're my first class, so I'll always keep that in here too. Alright, over here, I have lots of snacks in the corner to keep me sane. And then I have my laminator in the way right now, but I have file, copy, and laminate drawers. And then this is actually my grade bin, because that stuff gets a little high sometimes, so I couldn't fit all those into the drawers probably. But then I also have bins for each of my subjects, and so it's easy to just come on over and grab what I need. This is kind of like, I don't know, maybe a little too much, but I use like different colored paper clips for the different days of the week. So my green is Tuesday, purple is Wednesday, blue is Thursday, and then pink is Friday, and then orange is Monday, but we didn't have school yesterday, so I didn't have any of those. But that works for me, so that I can still organize the different days within my subject bin. So I like to separate it by subject, just so that I can kind of see like the progression throughout the week too. And I can just plan like a whole subject for the entire week all at one time instead of waiting and doing it day by day. This is just an extra bin, and these guys are just little things that I still need to like put together or pass out to my kids today. I'm going to get all that cleaned up eventually. Down here I have all of my little math manipulatives and things like that, and Legos, of course, the knockoff Legos from the Target dollar spot. And then I have my binders and some books that I read aloud throughout the year. Up here I have my Our Brightest workboard. I just used Astro Brights and put two of them together. Actually, my friends did it for me and they did an amazing job. That way when I do hang student work, the colors aren't completely covered up, because they would have been if I just did one sheet or so. That's Astro Brights for the win. Coming over here, this is our class supply cart. So I have my crayon box in the middle. I have all the different crayons organized by color, so it's easy for kids to find what they need. I have my markers, color pencils. I keep two sharpeners here because I don't sharpen my color pencils in my big sharpener. Again, I don't want it to break from all the little waxy materials. I have glue sticks, I have scissors, and dry erase markers and erasers, and whiteboards over here, and then of course construction paper and just like random paper that they can use. Alright, we are moving on to my favorite part of my classroom. This is my classroom library. It's hard to get the whole thing in the frame, but I made the curtains just by cut off on me, but I made the curtains just by cutting different fabrics and then tying them onto rods. Have them there and over by my desk. Makes it a little brighter in here. And then my books, I do have on the top shelf leveled books. I did go through and level every single book. It took forever, but it is so worth it, because then it's so easy for my kids to find a good fit book for them. So I have A all the way through F on my top shelf, and then down below I have some of my series of books. So Black Lagoon, My Weird School, Bailey School Kids Fly Guy, Amelia Bedelia, Janie B. Jones, Magic Treehouse, Magic School Bus, and then Dr. Seuss. And then I also have bins for like activities and games, animals, holidays, Disney and TV, and poems. And then I also have another bookshelf over here. I have my book Hospital, and then my miscellaneous bin in case they don't know where something goes, even though everything has a label. That way at least they aren't just putting it back anywhere. I'd rather them put them in the miscellaneous bin than to have books just everywhere. I have biographies, phonics books, fables and fairy tales, leveled readers, science and social studies, and a math bin. And these little furry guys are our furry reading buddy friends. We have a couch that our school provides in all of our secondary classrooms, which is super cool. I just covered it with fitted bed sheets because it was a little gross and I was worried about how sanitary it was, honestly. And then just threw some lime green pillows on there to make it a little brighter. I have some crate seats, beanbag, and then some foldable chairs over here. So it's a nice cozy area. Fun place to be in our classroom. We have our Stratford 25 board. Basically, kids, if they read 25 books outside of school and their parents sign off on them, they earn a Read for 25 shirt. And the staff, we all wear them on Fridays, so it's like a super cool thing for them to be able to earn, and then it's like building the school community, because then we're all dressed the same on Fridays, so it's pretty cool. The kids look forward to it and gets them excited for reading outside of school. Have my daily 5 board with my expectations, and then this is my small group area. Oop, I almost forgot. On the back of my bookshelf over here, I used butcher paper and then border, and I just taped it on so that anytime that I have like an anchor chart that we will be able to reference throughout our small group, or just in general, I can just tape it on here. It's a kind of cute way to display it, and a great use for this area. It was kind of like just not very attractive, and so I wanted to cover it, and now it's completely useful because it's on their eye level, and then it's also right beside our small group table, so they can easily reference it whenever they need to. Oh gosh, I didn't even realize this was over here. And this is our small group table area. My kiddos must have moved this on open house day. But I got all my colorful stools from Family Dollar, $5 each. Super cute, stable. They do slip sometimes, so if you have any tips as to how to make sure they don't tip over, let me know. I had a couple of kiddos fall down last year, but that's also because they were rocking in them, so it's kind of like, what can you really do other than tell them to stop rocking back on the stool. But yeah, that's our small group area. I do have special pencils that I use over here. They're thicker than the other ones, so that my students always have pencils back at the small group table. And then there are erasers, and the same thing, I labeled small group table, so we always know that this eraser belongs here, so that we never have to get up and go look for those different materials. Over here I do keep whiteboards here as well, so it's easy to just grab them. For small group lessons, I use felt for erasers, just cut some pieces up. And then I use the skinny markers for them, and there's post-it notes and cards here. And then I keep my own personal bin of markers up above, a little higher, so one, it's a little more out of reach, even though they still can. It's like they know these are the markers that Ms. Johnson uses, and we don't use those. We have a whole bin here, and they have the whole bin that's over on our materials cart. So that way I always have markers that are not pushed in and that actually work. I got this little guy from Dollar Tree. I tried erasing with it last week. I don't know if it's actually going to work or not, but we'll see as we go through instruction today. But it was only $1 and we're Wildcats, so I was like, perfect. So I had to get it. And then of course, little magnet men. Up here, this is where I display all my learning objectives. They're all typed up for the entire year already, and so all I have to do is go behind and pull out whichever card I need, and then just put it in the front. It's just like a little laminate sleeve, and then these guys are just cut out letters, and then I just use one piece of tape to just tape them up here. So it's a nice cool way to display the learning objectives, and they go with our class theme. Then I just have text features, and then long vowels, short vowels, nouns, adjectives, etc. Posters up here. Over here I have strategies when they come to a word that they don't know. And then of course our reading cafe board. I am going to use this for student goals this year as well. I haven't made them yet, but I'm going to have either clips or just Velcro dots where students can come over and put their number or their name next to what they want to focus on as their goal for the week. So that's what I'll use that for, because last year it was kind of just here, but we didn't really use it that much, and so I want to be able to make it more useful this year. Down below I have my student mailboxes. I used chalk contact paper, and so I put that on there and then use my chalk markers to write their names on here. So that way it's easy for me to switch year from year without having like the residue from the white labels. I don't know if the chalk marker is going to stay or not, so we'll see how that goes. I've also thought about just putting a piece of clear tape over where I wrote with the chalk marker, but then I'm like, is that going to be just as unproductive as the label? So we'll see. I don't know. I'll let you guys know how that goes throughout the year, if it actually stays or if it was kind of just like not really as effective as I wanted it to be. These are my bathroom. These are my birthday balloons for my students with crazy straws. I'm sure you saw those all over Pinterest. And then finally my birthday board. I just made the banner with the little pennants that were in Target Dollar Spot, along with the stickers that were in Target Dollar Spot. And then the apples were also, they actually came in a happy birthday like pack in the Target Dollar Spot, but I didn't like the headers much, so I just used the apples and laminated them so I can just write birthdays with dry erase marker, and then year to year it's easier, just wipe it clean and then write down the new ones. Over here I have some math posters, and these are our class computers. I'm really happy I got these really heavy duty headphones with my Donors Choose project this summer. The ones that we had last year broke within like 2 days, and then my kids were like turning up the volume and no one could focus, so I'm really excited to have those this year. Hopefully they will hold up. They are really heavy duty, so if these break, it's like, really guys, come on. Over here I have my writing table. I have a bunch of grade seats down here, and then I'll put pencils and different materials in that little container here. But it's also where my students will do different math games and things like that over here too. So yeah, I have 2 rolling carts over on this side. I use them to store logins. I use them for math early finisher, coloring square sheets. I use them to store math centers, different writing pages for free writing and things like that. They're amazing. I don't use all of the drawers, so if you have any recommendations for what else I could use these drawers for, just leave your suggestions down in the comment section below. I would greatly appreciate it. Up here I just have materials, yarn and like pipe cleaners, bingo, dabbers, daubers, whatever they're called, stamp pads, and then a miscellaneous bin, and then I keep my indoor recess games up here, and my clipboards up in this bin up here as well. Alright, moving along. Let's see, I have my word wall up here so it's easy for my kids to be able to reference when they're writing over here at the writing table. And then I also have a board for my daily writing prompts. I can just write down, I have a monthly daily writing prompt calendar, so I can just write down what the prompt is over here. So I read out loud to them, and then they can also look back to see if in case they forget what they're supposed to be writing about. I also have my writing process clip chart so that I'm able to see where my kids are in their writing, and it also kind of reinforces like the different parts of the writing process, so my kids are able to clip down whenever they get to a new part in writing their papers. And then a cute poster from Target, and our lunchbox bin. So yeah, that is basically it. I hope I explained everything that I needed to. But if not, if you have any questions or anything like that, just leave them down in the comment section below, and I will definitely get back to you with an answer.